It's safe to say, guys, that proof is one of the most difficult and most annoying areas of the entire course, especially ones like this, which involve square numbers, even numbers, whatever it might be. Let's have a look, though, and clear up how to do this one. This question says, show that the sum of the squares of any two even numbers is always a multiple of 4. Whenever you have a question like this, guys, the key is going to be to identify what the key facts from the question are. So we know that we're dealing with the sum of the squares of any two even numbers, and we need to show that that's a multiple of 4. So, showing that something's a multiple of 4, we know that at the end of this question, we're going to have to factorize, pulling out a factor of 4. But what do we have to factorize from? So, we know that we're dealing with the sum. Okay, so we're going to be adding together of the squares. So we're going to be squaring our two things. So let's do this. And then we're dealing with any two even numbers. Now, what's the fundamental property of an even number, guys? It's going to be that it has a factor of 2. So two generic even numbers, then we can use the number 2n and also the number 2, let's say m. Now, oh, that's not an m, is it? Let me write that again, 2m. What's the key here? The key is that both of these numbers have to have a factor of 4. Why? Because we have a 2, which is component to those two numbers. So we have two even numbers here. Some people might be thinking, could we use 2n and 2n plus 2? We actually cannot. And that's because that would specifically be two consecutive even numbers. Even though that would be a multiple of 4 still, it needs to be any two even numbers. So we're going to do 2n and also 2m. So 2n squared plus 2m squared, 2n squared, that is going to be 4n squared. We have to square that 2 and also square the n, and then with the 2m squared, we're going to have 4m squared again. Now, factorizing this, pulling out the factor of 4, if you're watching the vertical video, hopefully my head doesn't get in the way, I'll lean back a little bit. We're going to pull out that factor of 4. We have 4 times by n squared plus m squared. And that, guys, is going to show that the sum of any two even numbers has to be a multiple of 4. Tricky one there. If that made sense to you, you're really doing well. Keep up the good work.